Howdy folks, I'm 12 dramatic drummers dutifully drumming daring dissonance.
I'm Amber.
And here is more dissonance for us to drum. We will march to our own beat as drummers. We will make a lot of noise and it will all be our own. Because that's what dissonance is. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Husband I Told You So? And laughing at him when we got the paternity test results back. I'm a 27-year-old female and I've been married to my husband, a 28-year-old male, for 2 years and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. I'll try to keep this as short as possible so I don't waste your time with any irrelevant details. What happened was that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes, while my husband and I both have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this and refused to listen to my explanation that sometimes babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply. So I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, my husband went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space from me, while I recovered, and he told them what was happening. My mother-in-law called me to inform me that if the paternity test revealed that the child wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was, quote, taken to the cleaners during the divorce. I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during this. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me and we started to read the results. They showed that he was the father, and my husband had this shocked, kind of mortified look on his face, and his eyes were wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but say, "I told you so," and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of a shock and got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head. And 2 or 3 hours later, my mother-in-law called to scold me about laughing in my husband's face because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She also left a couple of nasty texts essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think that I'm the jerk here, but I would like some outside perspective on this. Alright folks, what do you think of this one?
Definitely not the jerk. Hubby and his mom are both jerks here. He essentially accuses you, not even essentially, he accuses you of cheating on him.
Yeah.
Goes to stay with his mom, leaving you to care for the baby on your own. Gets his mommy involved, harassing you. Comes home, test results show that the baby is his, and instead of apologizing profusely and getting down on his knees to beg for forgiveness, he goes off and sulks because you laughed at him, and then sicks his mom on you again.
Yeah, so first off, I want to say this, OP. OP, he doesn't get any presents, and neither does his mom.
Yep.
Next, how do we know you weren't cheating? Did you get a maternity test to find out the results? Maybe you're not the mother. I'm just kidding, folks. So I think this situation is absolutely just absurd. He needs to not cower behind his mom anytime there's an issue. And he also should have stuck by your side until the results were proven one way or another. I can certainly understand his upsetness, but there was a logical, reasonable explanation behind it. And he refused to listen to you, he refused to trust you, and that tells me that there are some trust issues in this relationship to begin with. Like, if he can't trust you, and he's not willing to stay by your side, that's not a good sign.
No, and also the way that he's not acting like a partner.
Mm-hmm.
He is acting like a scared child, basically. Like, he's just running home to mommy and having her deal with you. Like, is this what he's going to do anytime you have a fight? Is this what he's going to do anytime parenting is tough? Just say, oh, I'm going to go to my parents because I can't handle it. Like, this man does not seem like a good partner or a good father. Yeah. And I would definitely recommend reevaluating the relationship. Is he really going to be the person you need him to be?
Yeah, well, I think that at the very minimum, there needs to be marriage counseling. Mm-hmm. They probably need to go to a counselor. They need to talk about things. They have to have open and honest communication, and I think he has a lot to work on. But secondly, an unrelated point, he's not sorry. he didn't beg for forgiveness here. I mean, if he had made this accusation and then looked mortified and been like, ah, yeah, I guess I just wasn't thinking straight, that would be one thing. He should be the one who's begging you for forgiveness.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be trying to have to forgive. You shouldn't be apologizing to him at this point in time.
Well, this whole kicking him when he's down because he found out that his child is his child.
Yeah, like that's such a down thing. He should be excited and happy that everything worked out fine, right?
But Opie proved him wrong. The horrors.
The horrors of all horrors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here in his head, but I definitely think he needs to sit down and talk to somebody professional about this and work on his insecurities, because clearly he has some insecurities and jealousy issues.
And stop involving his mom in your relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for My Response When My Sister Refused to Invite My Wife to Her Destination Wedding? My wife and my sister are long friends. They've known each other since high school, and they were inseparable during college. I met my wife through my sister, and that made their bond even stronger. Now, on to the issue. My sister's getting married for the third time. She's having a destination wedding and invited everyone except for my wife. My wife was obviously hurt and upset, but didn't want to say anything. I insisted to know why, and my sister said that my wife violated the no prego woman in the wedding rule. I thought that was ridiculous and tried to get her to compromise, but she refused. I told her that it would damage her relationship with my wife, and she said it's fine, she'll get over it. I told her that my wife's absence will bring more attention than her being there. My sister responded, not sure anyone will even notice. I was so mad, but decided to just let it go. Days later, we met at her mom's house for my dad's birthday, and the whole family was there. My sister decided to bring up the issue and said, please tell Regina that I am so sorry that she's not invited to the wedding. I responded, it's fine, her pregnancy will probably last longer than your marriage anyways. So, she was stunned, and the table went quiet, save for some relatives who burst out into laughter. Her fiancé covered his mouth as if he wanted to yell at me, and she got up and excused herself to the bathroom. Dinner turned a little awkward, and it was cut short. Later, my mom yelled at me and said that I insulted and humiliated my sister and her wedding and her marriage. My sister demanded that I apologize or she won't come to the family Christmas party, and my parents are now freaking out and wanting me to apologize. I said no, but my wife thinks that I should just apologize since my parents said that if my sister won't attend their Christmas party, then they won't invite me to it. That made my wife upset. So, am I the jerk here? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, I don't think Opie's being the jerk. It wasn't necessarily the nicest reaction, but his sister is being absolutely ridiculous. I mean, first of all, when has no pregnant people at a wedding become an established rule? That's not a kind thing to do. And then, on top of that, how long have your parents been have your parents always treat your sister as the favorite golden child? Why aren't they standing up about her decision to exclude your wife? Why aren't they upset about that?
So, I don't know. I think that OP went a little bit over the line here. I think that maybe he could have been nicer, could have been kinder, and then just opted out of the wedding and said, look, I'm not going to be there if you're not going to let my wife be there. And that may have made a bigger statement, and even, threatened not to come to the Christmas or something like that, and, talk to the parents about her behavior. I think that you're right, that she is being treated like the golden child. I think that everyone should not have be coddling her like this. And I think that her reason for excluding OP's wife is just awful. It's terrible. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And I mean, definitely OP, I don't think you should go to the wedding. I'm not clear from this post whether you're planning to or not, but yeah, I would say definitely sit it out and resist the urge to tell her you'll be there at the next one.
And we're just like, yes, we'll do all the petty all the way. I think that there's a lot of coal to go around. Ho, 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 ho. Everyone gets a little coal when they're stocking this year, except for OP's wife. That's my verdict. What's Amber's verdict? How many presents do people get, Amber?
I say that sister gets negative presents. She can
Negative
have
presents.
people who are going to go to her wedding and give her gifts should just sit it out until she comes around and acts like a reasonable person.
So I think, Amber, what she's saying is that everyone should go to her wedding and steal the silverware.
No, I'm just saying, like, don't go to her wedding and don't show up with presents. So the presents she would have been expecting at her destination wedding just won't be there.
I see, I see. I don't know. I have to wonder if something happened between Opie's wife and sister, and if there's more to this story at some point.
I mean, there is a common thing of bridezillas not wanting pregnant women there because they're afraid that they will upstage them.
I see.
Granted, pregnancy, like, people will, of course, ask about the baby, ask how the pregnancy is going. Like, that's inevitable.
Yeah.
But that's not a good reason to exclude someone from your wedding.
Well, she's also been married two times at this point in time. This is the third wedding. I mean, how much more is that going to distract away from her? I don't know. Like, she's had her moment in the sun 2 times before. Is it really going to hurt her that much to have a little bit of her sunshine deflected onto somebody else? I don't know. Her starshine? I think that her demands here are pretty unreasonable. I think that she's acting spoiled. I certainly understand her wanting to have her big day, but I don't think that somebody being pregnant is going to detract from that.
No, and I think if you're that fixated on the optics of your wedding and making sure you're the absolute center all the time, then maybe you're getting married for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling the Whole Family That My Son-in-Law Cheated When He Referred to Me as Wild? I will keep this as short as possible. 2 years ago, I divorced my husband. The kids were adults when it happened and didn't take it well, but I thought that it was fine. No cheating was done by anyone, it just wasn't working out. My daughter took it really hard since she was a daddy's girl and she is married to my son-in-law. They have had a rocky relationship, and he has cheated on her, which is a family secret, but that was a few years ago. My issue now is that my son-in-law is making comments all the time that I am a wild woman now that I have divorced. I have spoken to both of them before. I had a bad day today, and I was hosting all the kids and families. He made a comment about how I am a loose woman since the divorce. I snapped back at him, and I told him that if I'm a loose woman, then he must be promiscuous as well, since he cheated on my daughter. So the secret was out. He got mad and left. My daughter is demanding an apology, and the rest of the family doesn't want to be around him due to his hypocrisy. My one son also hates cheaters and basically said that he is dead to him. Am I the jerk? Should I make amends? Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, you repeatedly talk to them, ask them not to do this. And OP also says in the comments that anytime anyone tried speaking to him about it, the daughter would be like, you can't talk to my husband like that. So the issue had been tried to be addressed tactfully and nothing was working. So, like, it's about time he got a taste of his own medicine.
You know, I think this is one of those situations where OP, son-in-law, daughter, they're all getting coal.
I don't think OP's getting coal. I mean, what's she supposed to do at that point in time?
I think that she could have just kicked them out and said, look, if you're going to continue to say these things, you're no longer welcome in my house, and just kick them out. I think that revealing the secret probably wasn't the right thing to do. This was kind of told to them in confidence, and I certainly understand why OP did this. I don't know if they're justified or not. Maybe they're justified. Maybe I'll go as far as to say that they're justified, but they could have taken a higher road. Let me put it that way.
But why? Why does OP have to take the higher road when her son-in-law is repeatedly calling her, like, she's an adult woman. What she does behind closed doors with consenting partners is her own business, and he has no right to shame her for that.
I absolutely agree. He doesn't have any right to shame her, and I really think that he shouldn't be invited back to her house.
Well, I agree completely, but also just the way that he and the daughter have been acting, he kind of deserves to be called out for his hypocrisy, because he is being a total hypocrite.
Oh yeah, I mean, he does deserve to have his hypocrisy called out. There's not really a good answer here. There's not a good solution, and certainly, like, I feel OP was stressed out. They were under a lot of pressure. Could they have handled it better? Probably, but...
Well, and I would feel different, too, if the daughter wasn't part of the issue, because if she was, like, trying to get him to stop, then I would feel bad. She's an active part of this, too, so if she's just trying to pretend like her husband is a saint, while letting him trash on her mom and even encouraging it, because it sounds like she has the exact same belief.
Yeah.
How dare you divorce my
Yeah.
dad and move on?
Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think that's a good point, is that there's certainly like some nuance here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a very smug look on her face, no joke book in her hand. I can only assume that means one thing. She has memorized the rest of Jovial Bob's Time's jokes.
No, I just came up with a joke thanks to the SpongeBob playing card deck that is sitting on our computer desk. Why did everyone laugh at the Four of Hearts?
Everyone laughed at the Four of Hearts because it was actually just the class clown and it would say the most ridiculous things at the most ridiculous times. It was a riot. I mean, have you ever had a Four of Hearts in your class? If you haven't, then you're missing out. It's like living a sitcom. I mean, you just have these random weird things happen. Like one day the Four of Hearts walked in with a rubber chicken. Never said why, never squeaked it. It was just there. And then they left. Bizarre, strange. That's all I can say about the Four of Hearts.
Because they were a real card.
See, that's what I said. It's what I said. Not in so many few words, but what I said. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please, have it a little pensive.
Perhaps if your partner starts dragging their parents into fights, they're not ready for a relationship.
You know, I think that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.